friends, today I'm in Memphis and I'm at the corner of, I'm having trouble finding it, Market, sorry, and B.B. King, which used to be 3rd Street. Now, right here is a Crown Plaza right there. Used to be a different thing, and here's the picture of it. And if you'll notice right here in the picture, you see that little thing with the little angle on it. That is right there. That's the edge of this church. So before it was Crown Plaza, it was Christine School.
So I wanted to get, I actually previously recorded this, but I wanted to get my dates right. They moved to Memphis on September the 6th, 1948 on a Monday. He started Christine School on September the 13th, 1948 on a Monday, which was a week later. He left the Christine School and started at Humes on November the 8th, 1948. And in those early times in 1948 and early 1949, they lived on Poplar, 572 Poplar, and they lived on Washington Street, which you've seen videos of me doing before, that were on other road. They were close together, but actually not very far from here. So I'm putting up a few pictures of the old school, the way it looked. This is a old drawing. You can see the school there. You see the church to the right of it and 3rd Street across. So Lauderdale was not there at this time. That's old houses. And this is the 1964 article where the school is being torn down. And that just gives you an idea of how old that school was.
Now, he did not live where I'm going to show you, which happens to be right across the street at the time, but ironically, he ended up living here just right after or sometime during. I'll have to start putting the dates together, but that's Lauderdale Court, and the room that he lived in just happens to be right here. So Christine School was literally across the street, and I'm sure if you're like me, you've never heard anybody talk about Elvis going to school in Memphis before Humes High. You've always heard of Humes. Well, Elvis went to school right here at Christine School, and the room that he lived in when he lived at Lauderdale, which I think they may have moved here in 1949, the historical marker is right there, and the room is right there. That's their living room window right there, the one that looks a little bit messed up, and that's where he took his ROTC picture right there. So Elvis, in fact, went to the 8th grade at Christine School right across the street from Lauderdale Courts, where he lived. And most of you are familiar with Lauderdale. I've done several stories on it. So it happened right here, friends. Elvis went to the 8th grade right here at Christine Schools. I bet you didn't know, but I bet you do now. And I think my crack team of investigators, specifically on this one, Ashley Drew, figured this out, came up with the information, and I couldn't do it without my team of people that come up with these stories and these bits of information and things that nobody's ever even thought about. And they investigate it, and I come and film it. So here's another one, friends. Christine School, Elvis in the 8th grade, 1948, 1949, happened right here.
So I was curious about how far these things were apart. So if you look at the top left, you see the marker right there. It says 282 Tennessee. That's at the front of Lauderdale Courts, right there by where Christine School would be. So to walk from there to Poplar, which is in the bottom right-hand corner, was 0.6 of a mile, assuming you didn't cut across. This is the same way, but this would be to Humes High. So Humes was further away from here. That would be 1.3 miles. So it turns out that they moved him from Christine School to Humes during the school year, even though it was actually a further distance. This would be where they were staying at the time, and you can see it says 1.3 miles. So it was basically 1.3 miles from Poplar and from Washington Avenue House to Humes, and it was 1.3 miles or 0.6 of a mile from where they were staying to Christine. Not sure why they switched. You know that they did switch, and this is a picture taken about the age that he would have been in 1948, somewhere thereabouts. And the next picture is going to be 1949. And there's a story that I found that said the first day he went to Christine's school, he showed back up at home visibly shaken and didn't want to go back. So maybe there was something going on there that Gladys wanted to protect him from, so she moved him to a different school. The other school was definitely not as convenient to the location of where they were living before or after they moved to Lauderdale. So just to follow up on this so you understand what we're talking about, Elvis went to this school right here, Christine's school, from September 13th, 1948, till just before November the 8th, 1948, when he switched to Humes High. And that means he went to this school for 39 days, basically. I did the counting and took out the holidays and took out weekends. So about 39 days is how long he attended this school. So there's another piece to the puzzle, friends. So something else I wanted to point out is this is in Elvis's bedroom in Lauderdale. If he looked out this window back then, you would have seen the school right there instead of the Crowne Plaza. And this is Elvis and his mom about the time that they moved. He was about that age right there. That's what he would have looked like when he, now, of course, he wasn't staying in Lauderdale Court at the time that he would have been going to school across there, but when he looked out that window, he would have seen that building nevertheless. And one more thing is I'm seeing conflicting information. According to Elvis Presley Enterprises, Graceland, they did not move there until November, just before he went to Humes, but I'm finding other stories where he went to this school, so I believe the other stories. Thank you so much for watching, and tighten up every chance you get.